51 and a half, take one. Hi, it's Jake and Richie in the SonicDad Studios here to bring you the preview of our very next project, Project 80 already.
80, folks.
Yes. And this video is coming to you a little bit late because we've been working on a provisional patent and we had to get that file before we showed this project to you. It turned out really cool, so we're excited to show it to you. So let's jump into it.
Okay, what do you got there?
This you probably recognize. This is project number 51, if memory serves. This is the Sonic parachute ball made out of a practice baseball. This project has been very popular and actually pretty fun.
Was fun.
It was fun.
Because now we have the new one.
So Project 80 is actually a revisit, a redesign of this project. It is the Sonic Parachute Ball Mark II.
Richie says it's a redesign. It's a total reinvention and it's awesome.
Well, so part of my challenge with SonicDad projects is designing them around things that you can find in the store. So we recently acquired a 3D printer and that's given me a lot more freedom to design things that function better and I think look a little better. And 3D printing has become so common that we felt like it was a good time to introduce a project where you would print your own 3D parts and use our instructions and pick up some other materials and make your project. So
with no further ado,
let us
hot off the press.
Here it
we
is.
have.
This is project number 80. Let me kind of close the ball up here. So you can see that it's built from 3D parts and it's got some metal fasteners. This is kind of the same concept. It's a parachute ball. You have a lanyard, you swing it in the air, it flies up to its apex and opens. What's different about this is this design approaches that concept in a completely different way.
I thought you were going to say this design approaches perfection.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. But
it might though.
so let me explain.
Talk about the open, well I'm sure you will, but talk about the open rates that you've seen. Because
yeah,
we really do have a
actually we have
to perfection.
A perfect record. This is kind of a passive opening system. The downside to that is it's really critical on the hinge and this loop. You have to get that just right. If there's too much tension on the hinge, this just wouldn't open. So we did have some failure rate with that. Even with mine, I think, I don't know, I might have been in the 80 or 90% open rate. The other thing about it is it starts to open as soon as you leave your hand, it leaves your hand, and I wanted to come up with something that would do much better than that, that would go all the way to the apex and then open. So that would mean the more force or power you put into it, the higher you could get it.
Whereas before, the more force or power you put into it, the faster it started opening.
Yeah. So this one is hinged at the back, meaning that the open side was into the wind. It goes up like that. This one's completely opposite. This flies with the hinge up. And this one, instead of having a passive opening system, this has an active opening system. We have elastics on the back there. And so that's what opens the ball at the apex. But it flies with the hinge up.
So that means that it's not going to open until
the airspeed drops off, which is at the apex.
Right at the top.
Yeah. So the way this stays closed, because it always wants to open, I've got the lanyard attached to the open side, which is opposite from the original design. So the lanyard is connected here on one half of the ball, and we have a little hook. And what you do is you take that lanyard and you hook it through like that, and it stays closed. And when you swing it on its way up, there's drag on this lanyard, and that keeps the lanyard over that hook and keeps the ball closed. When it gets to the apex and there's no more drag on this line, then that the force of the elastic overcomes the lanyard on the hook and it opens and the parachute comes out. A couple other things to point out here. This parachute borrows the 4 shroud line vented corner design from our action figure parachute and the randomizer rocket. This parachute is bigger than the Project 51. This was an 18-inch chute, and this is a 30-inch. Is that right? That might be a 24.
Yeah, I think it's 24.
Yeah. And this is a 30, and again, it's got the vents in the corners. And the reason that this parachute is such a great combination with this project is when it opens, you do have some mass at the bottom, and the old round chutes tend to oscillate. And this chute design with the vented corners will dampen that every cycle. You can see it dampening until there's no more oscillation. The reason that's important is it gives you a longer descent time. Let's see, so the other thing that's cool about 4 shroud lines is fewer to tangle, but we also have a little hook in here. This is like a name badge clasp. So what's cool about this is you've got this little quick disconnect hook. If you manage to completely tangle your shroud lines, you just disconnect it, untangle it, and hook it back in. Very simple. And so let's talk about, look at that, there we go. Let's talk about the printed parts.
So a lot of people are probably familiar with 3D printing, but for those that are not, what is the 3D printing?
Well, and I brought a couple of printers to show. Just wanted to show you the parts to begin with. Here is everything you would need to print for this project. And printing's become a lot more popular, and if you don't have a 3D printer and you're thinking, well, I can't do this project because I don't have a 3D printer, well, it's probably a lot easier for you to come by these parts than you think. The library just down the street from us has a 3D printer, and they will print parts for free. It's just a service. So when you get the SonicDad instructions, the PDF instructions, we will also have links for the STL files. So you get the design, you take those STL files and take to someone who has a printer, and you can print parts. So you could do it at the library. Almost every high school has a 3D printer. A lot of maker spaces that have them.
And there are even companies that you can find online that you can send the file to, and they'll ship you the
They tend to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, a little more spendy, but it's an option. So it's a lot easier to come by a 3D printer than it was even just a few years ago.
Now, in addition to all those methods, we also wanted to make this as easy as possible for somebody to actually build and enjoy this project, because it's so fun, it works so well, and kids dig it. So what we decided to do was produce our first project kit for this project.
Wait, did I miss the drum roll?
No, yeah, you did. Drum roll.
This is a big step. This is exciting for us.
We're very excited about this. So we will have this on our store at the time that this project goes live in a few weeks. And this is a complete kit that will have not only the printed parts in it, it's going to come with the parachute material. Here's the rest of the 3D printed parts come in the kit.
So pretty much in the box is everything that you would need to assemble.
That's correct.
A finished version.
So we've got the lanyard, we've got the parachute shroud lines, and we've got all of the fasteners that are the exact size that you need, and the elastics. So the only thing that you would have to do to finish this kit would be to have the instructions, a screwdriver, some pliers, a pair of scissors, and some clear tape, and that's it, and you're done.
And even I have those tools, folks.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to come by.
So we're really excited about this, and like I said, this will be available at the time this project comes out.
Richie's got some fun stuff over here that we want to show you.
So this is the printer that we use. If you're not familiar with 3D printing, you have an X and a Y axis and a Z axis, and you have a plastic filament, and there's a heated tip here. So think of it kind of like a very, very small glue gun that uses plastic instead of glue sticks. And what it does is lay down one layer at a time until it builds the part. And that
how
really
thick are those layers?
On this machine, I print these parts at 200 microns, 0.2
So,
millimeters. So it's pretty thin.
What does that mean?
Means I just lost my mic. That's about, I think it's 8,000ths of an inch, so like 2 human hairs.
So each layer is about the width of 2
Yeah,
human hairs.
yeah, roughly. 2 or 3.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 1 if you're Superman. Have thick hair.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
So a printer like this, and we would recommend this printer if you're in the market for one. This one is actually made in Czechoslovakia, and this, in my humble opinion, is the very best printer you can buy for the money. This one is about $1,000. You can also get it in a kit form for $6.99, I think.
And put it together yourself.
Yeah, put it together yourself, and that'd be a really fun project. But this is an excellent printer. This is a genuine Prusa i3 Mark II. And if you're going to look at a Prusa, make sure you find the genuine version. If that's a little outside of your price range, there are also several very small and inexpensive printers. This is an M3D. You can buy this little guy for about $300. I borrowed this from my buddy Heber Johnson. He printed these parts to test out our design and printed fine. But you can pick one of these little guys up for about $300. So if you decide that you want to start doing 3D printed projects in the future, this is a viable option too. So there are the printers. Let me set these back down here without causing a disaster. The other thing cool about 3D printing is you can get the filament in different colors. So here's a nice pink or purple that my wife likes. And also have a gray version. I mean, virtually any color you want. So let's see.
Can you print it in camouflage?
I don't, probably not. You could paint it in camouflage. So the additional parts to this project, if you're going to print the parts yourself, obviously you're going to need some plastic tablecloth material for the parachute. You're also going to need some kite string or some size 3 crochet thread. And we've got some nylon cord here for the lanyard. In addition to that, you'll need a little screw eye for the mount there and one of these little name badge lanyards. They're pretty easy to come by. And if you don't have one of those, you could use a fishing swivel or something like that. And then there are a few fasteners that you'll have to pick up from the hardware store and some little rubber bands. So those are all the parts that go into the project. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run over to our favorite local park and we're going to demonstrate this to you. And then we'll come back and wrap up real quick.
Now this one has, what do you have inside of this?
I put a little digital altimeter.
So we're going to see how high this puppy will fly.
We might even have to have a contest, see who can get it the highest. Here we go.
Let's do this.
It's a little damp.
Just a little squishy.
We'll survive. And it sounds like we're sharing the park with a bunch of crows.
What do you call a group of crows? Is it like a murder?
A gaggle.
That's
I don't
geese.
know. Oh, is it?
Geese.
I have no idea.
It's some weird name. It's like a
murder?
A murder of crows.
I feel like murdering them sometimes.
I know, that's probably where it came from.
Okay, pack the chute. Just make sure your shroud lines are not twisted. And then I like to just get the air out of it and then fold it in half. And then roll it as tightly as possible, kind of like a sleeping bag. Then I like to wrap 1.5 times of the shroud line around the canopy just to kind of keep it together. And then the extra, I'm just going to lay in like that and put the parachute inside the ball and then close it up. And then what you want to do is take your lanyard and pull it over to the side like this and then straight up, and it is hooked and ready to go. Okay, to launch it, my favorite method is to swing it back like this, and then on the forward swing is when I'm going to put some heat into it and then let go of it at the top of the swing.
All right. This is Thor's hammer. This
Thor's
is This is
hammer.
the hard one.
Thor's
It's an
hammer,
overhand
okay.
throw.
Interesting technique.
Still working on that one.
Okay.
Percent back. 74 feet.
Whoa, I broke my record.
That is a new record.
Yeah, I ate my Wheaties this morning.
All right.
Okay, now it's Jake's turn.
Okay.
Okay, no pressure, Jake. You gotta beat
None.
74 feet.
All right. So the question is, which technique should I employ? Thor's hammer is out. No, I'm not nervous here. Not at all.
Oh, you should feel some
No
pressure.
pressure. Okay, it's ready.
Yep.
How can I program it to say 75?
Nope. You have to actually get
All
to
right.
75.
We're just gonna go tried and true. Stretch out here. Okay. Fire in the hole. Oh no, bad release.
Survey says.
Oh
Come on, come on.
no.
You gotta show it.
100%.
What does it say?
40.
45 feet.
45. That was bad.
Man.
We call that a do-over. All right, we're gonna see if Richie can repeat his reign of terror here, because
I would like to get 75.
he only
would
threw
be
once,
awesome.
so I can still claim beginner's luck for the day. Although you probably log more flight time with this than.
I've thrown it a few times.
So we're gonna see if he can repeat his victory performance. Here we go. 74 is the record to beat.
Shake it out.
All right, make it happen.
Okay, Jake.
I think I know part of the problem.
What?
I haven't been grunting.
Oh, did I grunt on the
Well, no, I don't think you need to grunt. You've got the experience and expertise. I, on the other hand, just need to summon my primal ancestors' power through the force of a grunt. So we're gonna grunt this time.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna do a couple of rocks. Really get the Rainmaker spirit in. Okay, ready? Bah!
That seemed pretty high. And you about took out this guy on final approach there.
Well, it's no world record, but it falls squarely into the respectable category at 67
Hey,
feet.
all right, we'll take it.
So all I can say is that was better than Richie's last throw. So if I land my last throw 1 foot higher than his, it is a shallow victory, but a victory on some level.
To sum up, 74 feet
Is the
is the record.
both
But
the
you-
world
you got-
record, the day
You
record.
got 67. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, which, you know, if we reverse that, it'd be 76, which would be a record. So it's really close.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right, well, we also named the throw. It's a Rainmaker.
Right. It's about to rain on us here.
Yeah, appropriate on many levels.
Yes.
All right, folks, we'll see you back at the studio.
Yep. Head back over there.
Okay, we're back.
Welcome back.
Well, one thing that's exciting to me about Project 80 is I was able to design this on my CAD system and print these parts on a 3D printer and go and test them and then change the design, make improvements. So it was design, iterate,
Wait, so you
fast and furious for 3 weeks straight.
These aren't the first and only draft?
Oh no. In fact, I've got a collection here.
It's actually pretty funny. You guys will get a
Look
kick
at
out of
this.
this.
I kept all of my prototypes. Here is the graveyard of trial and error. And so, like I said, it was a a process of designing, making changes, coming up with a new design, testing it. So through the iterative process, went through lots of different hinge designs and lots of different methods to try to keep it closed until we ended up with the current version.
So this one looks a little more evolved, but I do see some differences.
Yeah, that's probably one of the
later
last
ones.
Few. Yep. So that's Project 80, the Sonic Parachute Ball Mark II. It was a heck of a lot of fun to develop, and I really like the idea of the 3D printed parts. So we may do this from time to time and offer the STL files along with the PDFs. So hope you enjoy building it. It was a lot of fun to develop.
And we're excited to hear what you guys think. Would you like to see more projects of this nature using, parts that can be printed versus parts that you have to be sourcing and hunting for? This is based largely on the feedback that we've got from you users. So let us know how you like it. Let us know how this works out for you.
And we don't plan to go exclusively 3D printed parts. We'll still have hot glue and popsicle sticks in projects, but we're really interested in also providing projects like this. So Project 80 is going to be a skill level 4. It'll take you about 3/4 of an hour to build once you have your parts printed or you have the kit. So until next time, I'm Richie.
And I'm Jake.
Now it's your turn to go make something cool with somebody you care about. We'll see you next time.
I had the overhanded throw.
It doesn't work very well.
Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, click here to subscribe to our channel.
Or click here to visit our website.